At number 63, I have a controversial one on the list. This one was at Sonoma on May the 7th, 1995, and in my opinion was one of the most entertaining NASCAR road course races I've ever watched. Ricky Rudd was on the pole early but was quickly passed by Mark Martin, who would go on to lead 66 of the 74 laps. Ken Schrader and Ricky Rudd combined to lead 6 laps total. Dale Earnhardt was up front all day and was seeking his first career road course win. Dan Oberst brought out the first caution on lap 4 after stalling on the track. The second caution came out on lap 29 as Joe Nemechek went for a bumpy ride over the tires. He finished 37th. Final caution of the race came out on lap 62 when Dale Jarrett turned Rusty Wallace and Davy Jones piled in. Dale Jarrett got up on his side and it took about 5 minutes for rescue workers to get his car back over. Jeff Bodine also spun late in the race, but in the end, it was Mark Martin and Dale Earnhardt Sr. battling for the win. With 2 laps to go, Dale Earnhardt dove to the inside of Mark Martin and took the lead for good. It was his first and only road course win of his career. Dale Earnhardt led Mark Martin by 9 points in the standings after this race. Jeff Gordon, who at the time was third in points, came home third in the race. At the end of the season, Jeff Gordon would capture his first career championship with Dale Earnhardt Sr. second. His next race on the list was held in front of 90,000 people on August the 12th at Watkins Glen Motor Speedway. Juan Montoya won the pole for the race but would go out on lap 63 and finish 33rd. Brian Vickers blew an engine on lap 1, finishing last. McMurray brought out the first caution after hitting the wall on lap 26, and Kurt Busch lost a tire early. Kyle Busch led the first 26 laps of the race, as his teammate Denny Hamlin blew an engine on lap 58, finishing 34th. Tony Stewart worked his way up through the field but spun out while in second place. It turned out to be the final caution of the race, and Stewart finished 19th. On the ensuing restart, things got crazy as Kyle Busch jumped out again to the lead with Brad Keselowski and Marcus Ambrose on his tail. Then the final lap, one of the most craziest in NASCAR history. Kyle Busch, who was seeking his second career win at Watkins Glen, came down in front of Brad Keselowski and spun out. Marcus Ambrose was trying to get his second win in a row at the track. NASCAR did not throw the yellow despite Kyle Busch's spin and there being oil on the track as the cars were slipping and sliding. Apparently the oil came from Bobby Labonte's car. Let's just watch this spectacular finish. Jimmy Johnson came home third, Clint Bowyer fourth, and Sam Hornish Jr., road course veteran, finished fifth. Trying to get a top 10 finish, Jeff Gordon crashed off the final turn and he finished 21st. At number 61, this race ended up being one of the most dramatic and controversial moments in NASCAR history, as multiple drivers were fighting to keep their championship hopes alive by making the chase. During the race, Joey Logano was ahead by 16 points over Jeff Gordon for 10th place and seemed to have it locked up. But Jeff Gordon was having a bad running as he had multiple problems throughout the race, dropping him back. Kurt Busch, who was also in the top 10 in the standings, had no problem. 2012 champion Brad Keselowski led the most laps with 142, but fell out of contention late and he would miss the chase. With 7 laps to go, Jeff Gordon was ahead by Logano by a large enough margin that Gordon led and would have bumped Logano and Truex out of the contention for the championship. While Carl Edwards and Ryan Newman battled for the lead, Clint Bowyer intentionally spun off turn 4, bringing out the caution. It was the final caution of the race, of the 5 total, and many thought that it was a flat tire, but some were skeptical, including Dale Earnhardt Jr. Newman was lean at the time, and it would have bumped Logano and Truex out of the chase. Pit stops gave Logano and Truex a new life, as Carl Edwards won the race off pit road, and Ryan Newman got off pit road in third. Radio chatter between Brian Vickers and Ty Norris was very suspicious, as Brian Vickers, who's teammate of Truex and Bowyer, came down pit road even though he had pitted during the caution. Edwards went on to take the win after the final restart, holding off Kurt Busch. Ryan Newman finished third and tied with Truex for the final wildcard spot on both wins and the first tiebreaker points. However, Truex, who had a second-place finish at Texas, entered the chase. Logano, who overtook Gordon on the final restart, clinched the final non-wildcard spot by 1 point. However, there would be consequences. I mean, big consequences. Just read. Because of the penalties, Martin Truex Jr. dropped to 17th in points, while Ryan Newman was allowed a spot in the chase. Had the caution not occurred, Jeff Gordon would have likely clinched the chase position since Logano would have remained 2 laps down. Gordon was added in by NASCAR as the 13th car in the 2013 chase for the Cup. The incident became known as Spingate, and this was the point standings after the penalties. Despite its controversy and being one of the most historic moments in NASCAR history, not in a good way, this race I think deserves to be in the top 100, and that's why I put it at number 61, because of what it meant to the sport. Thanks for watching today's video, and if you haven't yet, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe/follow. See you in the next one. Peace.